Okay, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, November 28th, 2023. It's about 12:30 p.m. I successfully had a live streaming YouTube uh, video that the other night, and then I tried to duplicate that, and nothing but problems. So I don't know what I did wrong. So I'm back with a regular recorded video while I try to work out what I accomplished and somehow unaccomplished. So got both cameras hooked up. Avery Media, that's this one. And then the Razor is up there. And that's not the way they're probably going to stay, but I'm just trying to throw this together here. Maybe take a little break and try to figure out what did I do wrong or what did I do right. Yeah, the room is a total disaster. I'm trying to get things in order because I spend an awful lot of my time, looking for something, So I fired up OBS and, it worked. It worked for a video, not streaming video, but worked for, video. So I think I need to get this, Manacam situation back working. And then when it's working, then I can jump over to OBS and see if I want to, end up using that or something. I've decided to use Microsoft stuff. I mean, more than I've mentioned this. I've been paying for all the Microsoft stuff. What do they call it? And I've been paying for it for years and years and years and almost never used it. Maybe I used Word 5 or 10 times or something for something. And I've used a lot of other programs. I've paid for a lot of other programs and used them in place of. So I want to try to, since this is a simple $120 Dell computer refurbished, I want to keep it real basic. And then my goal is, which I mentioned the other day, is I want to go with the Apple iPad and try to use it to make my streaming videos. Be a big step for me since I really know nothing about Apple's computer stuff. I mean, I follow it. Like on Tech TV, I try to catch quite often, their shows about Apple and stuff like that. So I got enough to keep me busy. Actually, what I'm going to do too is, let's see, which Windows product is that? The one that does the math and the spreadsheets and all that type of stuff. What's it called? I forget. But my bookkeeping has been a page in here. I write down the bills and the money. Well, I know the money coming in, which is zero basically. I've been doing that, and want to go ahead and use. They have a simple spreadsheet type design to keep track of your income and to keep track of your outgo and that kind of stuff. Want to start using that. Now, if I ever get over to actually using an Apple, and here's what I am looking at. Whoops, sorry, I got to check this out here. SDR Connect. Oh, that's for defined for radio. That's really neat now that you can. Oops, let's see. It's really that's really neat that, you know, SDR, you can have just a little thing and plug it in to your computer, and you can do all types of reception of radio and stuff like that. Pretty neat. I mean, it's inexpensive, and it works pretty well. I've got one of the things, but it's an old one, and the new ones are, you know, the chips are upgraded and all that type of stuff. So got a lot to keep me busy. A mysterious dog illness is spreading throughout the United States. They're not talking about Donald Trump, by the way. They're talking about the four-legged type of dog. This guy, by the way, this looks like a short video, yeah, but he makes some really good videos about aircraft crashes and violations and that type of stuff. It does a really good job. When I when I do find his link the next time, I'll put it someplace where you can find it. Well, I'll put it, you know, below this or something. Helicopters, you got to be crazy, or not crazy. You got to be as the power goes off. Most of these blades start coming down as you're powering down. Then they start coming down, and also the rear blade is extremely dangerous. The one on the back that is not horizontal but vertical or whatever. Now some of them are enclosed, sort of like a little, you know, thing, but they become invisible. You know, they're going like that, and if you're around a helicopter, be extremely careful. And follow any directions that, you know, that the people are giving you, that whoever's flying it or the crew or whoever it is, or if you're landing someplace. I worked at a hospital, well, more than one, but worked at a hospital that as a security officer, and we had to go out there when the helicopter was taking off or landing, you know, and for safety reasons. And you really got to, you know, watch people that they don't do something stupid. I think I need a nap, but I want to solve the. Let's see. That's not that. This is somebody else that got pilot debriefed. Wow. Iowa State Police pursuit of a murderer in. The trooper shoots out the tires. Some of these things, you know, I don't know how that worked out. I'm assuming it maybe worked out okay. But some of these things that you see are just, just crazy. I mean, totally crazy. When you're, when you're armed and you have a situation, you've got to be aware of, you know, where that bullet is going to go. If you have a bad guy who has a weapon or whatever, if there's people behind that person, unless you know you are, which very few are, unless you know that, hey, that person's there's these people behind, or whatever's behind. I mean, you just can't shoot, even if it means that you have rounds coming at you. You can't just turn loose and just shoot. I've seen YouTube videos of police cars chasing bad guys who are shooting. The bad guys are shooting out the windows and everywhere, and the police, the one I saw, well, more than one, but I saw this one video. They were driving all over, the thing was going all over, and the police were just shooting, and it turned out, I think they said that nobody was hit. But, those police officers who were shooting, they were just shooting in that direction at the car, who had guys in it, a guy or guys, they were shooting at the police. But just because they're spraying bullets all over the place, you can't just, Anyway, why am I talking about that? Archie Bunker on Democrats. Well, we know what he thought about Democrats, don't we? That was a great TV show. Extremely high diving. I can't even swim. Never learned to swim. And actually, I don't want to tell you, I don't have a phobia. I don't know what it is, but this looks like something good to check out. Oh, you're not seeing it. I'm sorry. 10 video editing tips every editor should know. Definitely. There's so much I could learn. I don't think I have enough time. Dr. Strangelove, well, that was a fantastic movie. I like these, I guess it's the Equalizer. I guess that's what it's called, movies or whatever. Or I like, it's stupid on the one hand, but on the other hand, I like it, I don't think I've ever seen Sahara, or I don't think I've seen The Lost Century. It's a documentary, apparently. And there's a pilot that also makes real good videos. 74 Gear is what his site is called. This is a cute family. I can't play it or I'd get a copyright hit, it doesn't, they're not it's not like 1, 2, or 3 or whatever. It's, if somebody's music gets on there, they put a copyright hit, and they get the money, and it's really, and just a little bit of, I was talking about how I liked, can't remember the name of the TV show. So I saw it, I clicked on it, and a little bit of the music played. I mean, a little bit, less than a minute, and got a copyright hit. Fake cop pulls over a real cop. Stuff like that happens a lot. This is why the Tab S9 Ultra is worth the upgrade. I wouldn't mind having a small tablet. I don't think I would make, of course, I also want a, iPad, which I do want to make these videos using that. But I'd also like to have a inexpensive but nice tablet that I could, have laying here. Right now, like I use my cell phone, and you have a small screen. I like to have something I could just reach over and check the weather and do all that kind of stuff, But I'm not going to be getting all the stuff that I want, or any of the stuff that I want. Here's a guy that says, "Are you still using Microsoft Office? Time to move on. An alternative." These high-speed chases. I had somebody, on one occasion, going over 100 miles an hour, and it was, I don't know, like 2 a.m. in the morning or something like that. I had some guys 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning that were they're full time. We just finally had a full-time officer for Raymore, and I was a reserve officer, so I came in like whenever I wanted to, really. And I came in probably 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. and he came on duty at I think midnight, and when I came on, I was the only officer, on duty, because at that point, we had finally hired a full-time officer, and he started out working the midnight shift. But so I don't know how long it was, after we'd hired him, but like I said, I was a reserve officer. I could have left at any time. I could have not come. Every night for years, I never missed my night. Sunday night, I think it was. Because on my full-time job, I had Monday and Tuesday off. And, never mind. It's not that interesting of a story, but it was a high-speed chase, too. Not only that, what's interesting about that is, never mind. It's not that interesting of a story. Well, I like these kind of things. What was Kung Fu? Was that the TV show? I liked that, He's a peaceful monk or whatever, and then he comes into these situations and he doesn't want to fight. I like those kind of stories, and then he, here's a couple little kids that are they fighting? They're dancing, I guess. 12 and 13-year-olds. If I click on it, I guess I could turn the volume down. And I guess it probably wouldn't be a copyright. Let's see. That's the way, young boys or whatever, they want a girlfriend, or they want a, I think a little older than this though, but but I mean, that's go over it because there's not enough boys, I think, that because I was watching from the UK, husband and wife, and they had a dance, in their home. Of course, they had it, gigantic rooms, and they taught dancing. And their problem was they had a whole bunch of girls, but there were very few boys. And so, all these girls, they wanted to, dance, dance with a boy, not, for anything, because it would, better for their winning of trophies and that kind of stuff than two girls dancing together or something. So, but, this would be a great way for a boy to, of course, I think some of these boys are dancing with their sisters, I think. I finally stopped watching that couple in the UK. It was interesting. Oh, how long have I been talking? 21 minutes, that's long enough. Let's see. Jump out of here and go to where? I don't think I'm going to try today because I'm tired of it, to get back to the streaming situation. Let's see here. Oh, stop right there. Oops. Stop right there. Whoops. Stop. I made a video 8 hours ago, and I was, I guess you'd say telling some stories or whatever. And I started on something, and then I got sidetracked, so it never finished. So let me tell you that again, and then I'll jump out of here. Wait a minute, why is this not showing? Okay, here, I can click on it. There we go. Anyway, some friends, we were in grade school, I think. Pretty sure at grade school. My, voice changed. And, everything else, that changed. Anyway, these friends that I, at school, maybe their voices hadn't changed yet. I don't know. It was about whatever time that is. If you're 14 years old, 13, 14 or something like that. So they came over, and this guy, he had the girls, hey, like the neighborhood girls, they're at so-and-so's house right now. Jim, call them and talk to them. And I said, okay. And so I called, and I forget, what I said. This is, my name is so-and-so, and I'm with Teen Magazine. We're doing a survey. Could I ask you a few questions? And then, I started, of course, naturally, and I didn't say, question number one, do you wear panties when you, I didn't do something, I did it, like, oh, Teen Magazine, who's your favorite singer? I did that, went through that, and everything. I don't think they suspected anything, because I was good at that. And so then, okay, I said, now I'd like to ask you some, of your, questions about some other things other than your music that you like and that type of stuff. And I asked a couple things that wouldn't be suspicious, and then I forget exactly, what I said, but now, for your sleepwear, what do you wear? Do you wear pajamas, a nightgown? What type of, And then the girl said, such and such. and then I ask something else, and then I forget what I asked, you know. And that, of course, because I knew that was going, you know, that okay, you know. And then the girls started laughing, and then they started hollering, you know, and who are asking who I was, you know. Of course, I gave my name, but a fake name. And the girls said, "Who is this? Who's this calling? Is this, you know, is this Billy? Is this Billy calling? Or, you know?" And then, of course, let's say Billy was there, you know. Let's say, you know, he was. So he went over, then he took the phone. And then the girls were saying, "Who is that? Who was I talking to just now? And I want to meet him," you know, whatever. And so we got in the car and met him, drove over to a eating place, where that was one of those eating places in that had the girls that skated out on the skates and put a tray on your window and that kind of stuff. But we were standing outside the car. And so then the girls came. Of course, now the girls knew these other, maybe, I don't know if they knew them all. I forget, there was only like 4 or 5 of us, but they knew, I think, the others. They were probably brothers and sisters and that kind of, you know, or stuff, but a lot, stuff like that. But they didn't recognize me, of course. And so, but when they saw me, then they knew that I was the one that called on the phone. And so they're driving, you know, they're driving through, and then they see, and then they point, and then they're going, I don't know, I can't do it, you know, like, yeah, you know, and then they just waved and they drove on out. So that was what that story was about. That was good for my ego or whatever, you know. I didn't date then until I was like 40 years of age, I think. I was a cute baby, and I was a cute as I grew up. And then when you need to be cute, that's when I wasn't cute anymore, you know. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I'm going to work on the streaming video because it worked out well. So I'm going to work on it. Cross your fingers. Thanks very much.